Should have like little rabbit ears or something for these.
I thought about
devil horns or something.
Right? Yeah, I'm not gonna get the kitty cat ears. That's for sure. It's not gonna happen.
Big old floppy bunny ears.
Right? Hey, yeah, come on in. No, dude, I saw your headphones. It's not happening. We're not doing that.
Sounds good. How do I sound? All right, here we go.
Oh, see, it's a totally different experience with the headphones.
It is. Did we not use the headphones last time?
I don't think we did. I don't know if I had this set up yet. I mean, I know I did one down in Laredo with the old setup of the USB mics, and I went to do the playback, and it was it was just terrible.
Oh no.
Yeah, like crank it all the way up just to be able to hear it. And nobody wants to do that if they're listening in their car, because then when you stop listening to the podcast and go back to the radio, you get blasted out of the driver's seat.
That's a good point.
So yeah, just been working on it, but yeah, man. Talking about going back to it, yeah, I'm with you. I'm not buying into the press. I mean, there are challenges going on in the industry on both sides, right? But I don't think it's.
I like how he calls them challenges.
That's right.
Well, corrections, if you will. There's going to be a certain degree of correction, but I mean, nah, dude, this is like anybody who tells me, oh, it's 08. No, it's not 08. No, I was in 08.
I lived through 08. This is not 08.
This is not 08. Shut up. Go home. But anyway, so what's up, fellas?
Oh, this is great. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Jack, say it again. Bodolosky.
You got it.
All right. And then my good friend over here from SWBC. What's going on, Mr. Burnham?
Hey, good morning.
See, you thought I was going to mess up on your name, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, you thought I was going to call you Bradburn, didn't you? I've almost done that like a couple times on the phone. Like, hey, what's up, what's up, bro? How you been?
JB.
Oh, that's just JBs. Even more confusing.
I know. Our good friend Jay, who's also JB.
Yeah.
Dude, there's too many JBs.
There's a lot of JBs.
We have 3 JBs on the board.
We do have 3 JBs on the board.
See, yeah, for me, I can't use my initials. I can't. It's BJ. I can't do it. Like, I get too many smirks. I can. Yeah, and then there's that one. Yeah.
So it's BJS?
Yeah. Yeah. Just look for old BS. Yeah.
Here comes BS.
Right? Hey, so guys, welcome back to another episode of the Big B Mortgage Podcast, not the BS Mortgage Podcast. I am with Jack Bodolosky. Damn, I nailed that one. Right.
Look at you.
Look at that. I'm getting good.
Early in the morning, too.
Yeah, buddy. And my friend John Burnham from the Warrior Companion Foundation, previously known as
the Companion Animal Foundation.
Right. So you've rebranded.
We rebranded.
Okay.
We have an awesome gentleman. His name's Larry Walters, and he actually wrote the jingle for Oscar Mayer Bologna. And he helped us do with all the rebranding, and it's been great. We've been having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what brought about the rebrand?
Well, because the old brand which I'm wearing today looks like basically like your Texas Marshal or Texas Ranger. It didn't really say anything about service members and their animals. It just kind of was a generic type logo.
Right.
Just pulled out of the air. So we came up with more of a red, white, and blue. It's predominant. There's a soldier on there and an animal. It's pretty amazing.
No, it's definitely impressive, dude. Like, I can see a lot of thought and heart went into this one for sure. Not that the other one I didn't like, but this one is wow.
It's a big step in the right direction.
Yeah. And I remember I was getting posts on Facebook from you. Like, weren't you sending out like images of it on beer bottles or something?
On wine bottles.
Wine bottles, yeah.
We're gonna do that too.
I knew it was something adultish. I'm like, I like that one, or that one, or well, it's got alcohol in it. Like, just all of them.
All of them.
They all look good. So decided to go the new route. How's that going?
It's going excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really starting to grab some legs now, and we're starting to not. Instead we were walking before, now we're kind of running now.
We are. That's true.
We took care of our first animal and our veteran.
Congratulations.
So we have his name's Larry, and his service animal's now completely insured with pet insurance, and So now he's covered. So now we have 3 more that would stand the pipeline.
Yeah.
We got some more exciting stuff coming. We have a veterinarian that's training a dog to give away to a veteran.
Really?
So it's really just moving and grooving. It's just really just taking off.
Wow.
So what we need is more money. That's what we need. We need more
Right.
donations. So,
Absolutely.
but we're getting there.
Yeah. So what are some of the things you guys are doing to fundraise for this?
Well, we're talking about doing a Disney cruise, doing a raffle for a Disney cruise.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be at the Vet Fest on November 17th out in Round Rock. So we're going to be doing some giveaways there.
Okay.
And then we're just doing online donations, T-shirt sales, you name it.
Wow.
You've
So
got
we're getting there.
some Facebook fundraisers going. The
Yeah, we got a
T-shirt,
bunch of Facebook.
T-shirt fundraisers. Yeah.
So take me back. Take me back. I mean, I remember you guys shared the story of where this came from on the last episode. Let's touch on that again. Just as a reminder of what brought this forth, but also, obviously, I'm assuming the reception has just been amazing on this, right? But remind me again. So when you insure this animal, how long is the animal insured for?
For life.
For life.
Yeah.
So that service animal that just got his insurance is covered for the rest of his lifespan.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that's huge.
And it's the veteran, is going to be able to do their dental cleanings. We talked about this last time.
Yeah.
How important dental cleanings are. They're going to be able to go get blood work done once or twice a year now, and it's not going to be a huge expense anymore. It's just all covered with the insurance. So
Pay the deductible.
It's a $250 deductible, and it's a 90-10 split. And we're going to be working on getting some veterinarians to partner with us, and maybe they can forego that 10%,
Right.
and that way they're 100% covered. So that's some things that I'm working on now to get that done.
Yeah.
So how it works, just to reiterate, so it's a $250 deductible up front,
Yeah.
and then the foundation will reimburse 90%. Correct.
Correct.
So the veteran's out $25
Basically.
out of their pocket, and then that $25 we're also working on getting covered. So they front the deductible, but then we come back and reimburse that. So really out of pocket, it's just a few dollars, and
Wow.
then you get full pet insurance and coverage.
Right.
Dude, that is awesome, man. It's unique. That's the only way I can describe it. It's so unique, but
And it's funny. It's just been evolving because the more times we meet and the more times that we get together with the board members, we put these barriers up and we just find ways to get through those barriers. What if this person needs this, or what do we do if we have a person that needs that? We're trying to put all the scenarios in place so we can foresee any problems that we have. It's getting there. It's really getting there.
that's awesome, man.
We just partnered with Hartville Pet Insurance,
Okay.
so we're going to have our own brand pet insurance. So if you wanted to buy pet insurance, you can buy it through the foundation, and we would get the referral money off of that. So that would
Really?
go towards helping other veterans and their service animals. So that just happened on Thursday last week.
Yep.
Wow.
So you're going to start seeing these brochures out in PetSmart and veterinarians and SPCA's, and if you want to buy pet insurance, you buy it through the Warrior Companion,
Yeah.
and you're good to go.
Wow.
So
And you had mentioned you guys are looking at some of the fundraising, like a Disney cruise. I mean, how people can bid on it, or is it a drawing?
What we're thinking about doing is getting raffle tickets,
Sure.
and then sell $100 for a family of 4 ticket,
Yeah.
with a chance to go on a Disney cruise out of New Orleans.
Oh wow.
So to get a 4-day cruise, Disney Island, all that fun stuff.
Wow.
So we're trying to decide if we're going to limit the tickets or not. So we're still in the phases of that. But if we just did 200 tickets, that would give us a lot of fundraising dollars to help support a bunch of animals. So
That's awesome. And you said you got 3 more animals in the pipe?
we got 3 more animals in the pipeline
Okay.
that need pet insurance. So we're just actively out there raising funds.
And you had mentioned last time that obviously it's not cheap to insure an animal for life.
It's about we figured it's around $12,000 at a lifetime, and it's about $1,100 to $1,200 a year. So an average animal lives 10 years. Some live more, some live less.
Sure.
So we just average it out. So we figured we need to have $12,000 per each animal just to have it, so that way we know that they're going to be insured for life.
Wow. Okay. Well, geez, man. I tip my hat every time I talk to JB. It's like, what's going on now? What's going on now? Like, what are you
We
guys
got
up to?
a lot of good stuff going on. Well, there's some things that we're putting in place too to help the veteran make sure that they're taking the animal in consistently. They're doing checkups twice a year, and that will really make sure that they're utilizing the insurance. The biggest thing about having the insurance, hopefully they never need it, but hopefully when they actually take the animal in on a consistent basis, it's extending the animal's life.
Right.
And that's really ultimately what it's about. I mean, Jack's experience in the veterinarian industry, 20 plus years of, his wife's a veterinarian and have owned a vet clinic. And so his service experience plus his veterinarian experience, you combine those two, and they really understand how to care for the animal. So at the very essence of the whole program is we're really trying to save the veteran money,
right?
So they don't have to pay for the cost, but they've got to make sure they understand the importance of taking the animal in and getting care, because they may not be caring for the animal like they should. And so it's education as well to help them.
So it's not giving them an excuse not to go either. You know, so now they have the insurance, they should use it.
Yeah.
And when you have to go in, you have to go get blood work. It's just like us. We need to get checked up by the doctor and make sure that we're not high blood pressure and blood problems, and make sure we don't have, like with animals, you get heartworms. There's Lyme's disease. There's so many things that an animal can get that's preventative.
Yeah.
That it's important for them to get it in there and get it taken care of. We just had an animal that's been on heartworm preventative for 10 years.
10 years?
Tested positive for heartworm. So even though they were given the medicine for it, there's always a slight chance that you still can get it. So everybody's body's processes meds differently. Yeah. So this dog must have had something there where he was able to process the meds out of him and was able to have grow heartworm eggs. So thank God that it was on the preventative, because the dog would have probably died in the amount of time it came back in again. But it's still possible. So it's important, even though you're giving the heartworms, and putting the flea and tick on, and doing all the stuff you're supposed to do, it's still important to get them in and get them checked up, because you just never know.
Right.
So it's very important.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, as a dog owner, yeah, I concur.
Well,
we've been lucky. Elvis always checks out clean, but my biggest thing, and this is where I'm horrible, is keeping up with and this is off subject, but keeping up with the nail trimming.
Oh yeah,
because he hates it, dude. Like he knows, and they're so smart, because he sees like if I get the trimmers, dude, it's like forget it. I don't care how much steak you got in your hand. I'm going over here, and he's an 80-pound German Shepherd or whatever, and it's like, dude, come on, I got to do it so you don't have eagle talons walking around the house,
That's right.
So you'll hear click, click, click through the night.
Oh, dude. It's brutal. And somebody told me, like, if you let them get too long, like, it can actually hurt the dog.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, we've seen them go right back in the pads. So that's just, that's normal, routine, preventative care. I mean, it's all part of, getting them in. An older dog needs to come in at least 2 times a year, minimum. Right. Some dogs, if they have problems, they have to come in every 4 months. It just depends on the health condition of that animal. So it's so important.
Yeah.
And the teeth cleaning, some animals may have teeth cleaning twice a year.
Yeah.
And that can get expensive. The average cost of having a pet is around $1,800 a year.
Right.
So we're providing the pet insurance that costs us around $1,200 a year to alleviate you, the veteran, the pain of spending $1,800 a year to take care of them.
Yeah. Because you can't just go to the low-cost shot trailer.
Well, you can, but you're not going to get,
You're not going to get the care, right?
Well,
the same type.
See, what the problem with those type of places in the first place, and a lot of people, it's about cost, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of people use it for cost, and it's understandable. At least they're doing something for their animal.
Right.
But those vaccines aren't protected, or they're not guaranteed. Like when you go to a veterinarian and you get a shot from the veterinarian, they record the lot number, they put it in the medical record, and if your animal comes down with a Lyme disease after they had the Lyme vaccine, the drug maker will pay for the care of that animal to get the animal Lyme free.
Really?
So same thing with the heartworms. This dog was on heartworm its whole life, heartworm meds. They're going to pay to treat the dog to get rid of the heartworms. That doesn't come out of your pocket because you're doing what you're supposed to do. It's a guarantee. So when you go to the Tractor Supplies or go to the parks and get your rabies vaccines or go to these places to do those things, they're not guaranteed. They don't know where those lots come from. Some of them are tank vials. So that's why it's so important. And that's what a lot of our veterans were doing was, the one that we just insured, he was just taking them to Tractor Supply or,
right.
The county gives away the rabies shot. And
outside the pharmacy.
His groomer was doing its teeth and it really needed a dental. It's just, that's not the right place to get those things. Even though they're cheap and at least you're doing something, but it's not the place to do that.
Jeez. Well, okay, so I will stop doing that. Sorry.
Well, no, it's, well, you don't. But you don't. But you don't know if you don't.
Yeah,
if
no, you don't know.
These
You figure,
things,
hey,
I always used to tell my clients because they used to complain because they have to pay an extra $6 or $8 for a vaccine. I'm like, well, it's just like buying a Craftsman tool or a Snap-on tool. If it breaks, you take the tool back in and get a new one.
right.
You exchange it, right up, straight up.
Yeah.
No different. Something happens. You got your shots here. We're going to go to bat for you to make sure your animal's taken care of free of charge through the drug company. And
Wow.
that's the important
See, I
part.
never knew that part.
If you go buy Frontline or a topical and your dog gets sick, because sometimes that happens,
Right.
and you buy it at a store, that sickness is on you.
Yeah.
You buy it through a veterinarian, dog gets sick from it, it's on the drug company.
Interesting.
So it's like an insurance policy.
Dude. Okay. So now I have a whole new lookout on vets. I had no idea.
Yeah, well, most people don't. So that's why and plus, while you're there, the veterinarian may catch something
Right.
early enough to treat it so you have an animal longer.
Yeah.
So you have your pet with you for more years.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you how many times my wife's caught diabetes on animals and people had no clue.
Diabetes on animals?
Oh, yeah, sure. So they were in the first stages of diabetes, and she was able to clear it up with diet, and it was good to go. Diet and exercise, and it was good to go. So saved them. If it just got worse and worse, then it would have had to be on insulin, and that cost a lot of money. It's like $200 a vial now, and they're on it for life. So you're catching things earlier by having them come in more frequent. So
Wow.
It's actually saving you money in the long run.
Right.
That's the whole name of the game, is to make sure that you have a healthy, happy pet that's taken care of, so that way they don't come down with diseases and illnesses that's going to cost you more down the road.
Ounce of prevention versus a pound of cure, right?
That's right. It's like spaying your animal early, pyometras and stuff like that. It's all very important. So that's why when we thought about this, and the more I thought about it, it's like, well, how do we guarantee these guys, their animals, live longer? Because we know if they don't have that support animal, there are higher chances of them going to commit suicide.
Yeah.
So how do we stop that? So if we can guarantee their animal a longer length with them, it gives them more time to cope and put together their life and move on. And the other biggest thing is that when you poll these veterans that had animals and their animals die, they don't get another one because they can't afford it. They find out that, I had to spend $4,000 for Fluffy, and Fluffy died and I out $40,000 and the dog, and they never get another one, and they need another one. It's their support. So
Sure.
if they're not going to get another one, you're just adding to the problem. So it's just we're eliminating so many things here. It's amazing how we're just by doing one action,
Right.
how encompassed everything is covered.
Yeah. Mind blown on that one.
So now we have a shelter dog that was lost during the flood out in Junction, Texas.
Right.
and there's a veterinarian, he's going to train the dog for free, and we're going to give that dog to a veteran, a needy veteran that needs that animal with pet insurance. So now we're saving a rescue out of a shelter and giving that dog to a veteran and saving a veteran from their PTSD and be able to cope better. So, I mean, it just keeps, the endless amount of help that we're doing is not like any other organization.
Well, and that's the other part too. It's like, because I had, I was telling the people in Corpus that I mentioned to you last time. I was telling them about you guys, and I was like, hey, you know what? You guys need to hook up. These dudes are doing something really cool. They're providing insurance. And then they started sharing with me, because their whole thing is the retreat for the veteran, right?
Right.
But their property is so vast, they said that they're now talking to some groups about training future service animals.
And there's a need for that. I bet we've gotten...
Because it's not just go to the pound and pick out a puppy.
No,
you know what I mean?
I mean there is an aspect of that does happen. Okay. Veterans it's a support animal, so basically the animal's just like a lap dog or something that they for support, or having somebody there because the veteran's trying to get their life together, and they relationships just doesn't work at that point. It's very difficult to juggle life when you have those feelings, that PTSD going on, let alone just going your days normally, basically.
Right.
So the animal just is basically there for a comfort animal. But I think we need more training places. That way we can certify these animals, and they're actually a true service animal at that point. And we're able to push over documentation that they were at least trained to listen to the veteran and be able to be out in public and not be all over the place like some of these service animals you see. So we're going to start bringing credibility by doing what you're saying they want to do. We're going to start bringing credibility to service animals. It's going to be harder for other people to say, I have a service animal, when they're really not a service animal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to earn it, so to speak.
Yeah, sure, yeah. So, this is taking on so many different avenues.
You guys are just scratching the surface on what this could be.
Oh yeah, I mean we started in September and it's gone on a year now. Well, it was really January, but
January. Well, and the cost to train the animal, $20,000, $50,000. I mean, it could be. It's a
even
huge
more
number.
than that if it's a mobility animal. You're in the $80,000 range.
Oh, you're saying like if someone has lost their sight or
their legs,
or their legs,
need somebody to go armed to open a door, or CNI dog, or
Wow.
That it gets even more expensive.
$80,000?
$80,000. It takes them 6 months to train that animal.
Really?
To do those things. And there's only certain animals that have the temperament for that.
Right.
So they may start with an animal, and in the end they don't graduate them.
Really?
Yeah, and then those animals go to a home. So there's, not every dog makes, it's kind of like, going through military. You go to boot camp, you go to AIT. Not everybody makes it through boot camp. Not everybody makes it through AIT. Advanced training. It's the same thing with an animal. When they get trained, they may not make it.
Wow.
So I don't know what the ratio of that is, but I'm going to find out.
Jeez.
It'd be interesting to know if it's 1 in 5, it's 4 out of 3 or whatever. It'd be kind of cool to know that statistic, that when they really train an animal for service animal duties. What's the training for that? And there's seizure dogs and guide dogs, and there's like 9 different types of dogs, service animals.
Wow.
So mainly right now is we're training to help the PTSD dogs.
Sure.
And we're not being really critical right now, because there's no way to determine on being credibility if the animal's a service animal or not.
Right.
Until we perfect that by having people training them and giving some type of documentation or certification. Until then, we're going to just help whatever veteran needs it.
Help the veterans who need help.
Yep.
So when do you think you'll be able to announce the next animal that you insure?
I'm
close
thinking
are you?
Probably in December. What we're going to try to do is we're going to announce a dog a quarter.
Yeah.
So that way it's just easier for us to record keep and maintain, because we're all doing this part-time, we're doing it full-time, but with part-time time. So it's so we're just trying to make it so that way it's more manageable for the members to sit down and say, okay, we got these 10 dogs every quarter. We know who's coming up for renewal. We know who's out there. We know who we need to look at. We know who we have to touch base with and go that route. So that's what we're basically thinking about doing.
That's right. So right now, of course, we're in full fundraising mode, and we're in application gathering and reviewing for veterans that are in need of this service. And we've got a new website. So warriorcompanion.com.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Warriorcompanion.com.
Nice.
So it's got information on how to apply. And one of the things we talked about on the board meetings is this podcast is going to reach a lot of folks, hopefully, and it may not be the veteran who hears this. It may be a family member, a friend, coworker, someone who can apply on behalf of the veteran. We encourage that.
Very much. That's how we got our first one, actually. Yeah. It was a member in the VFW, or American Legion post, that knew that this couple had a service animal and they were in dire straits. They really didn't have the funds to take care of this animal and get them to the proper care.
Right.
That's how we got our first. That's how we got our first animal, just by someone reaching out and saying, "Hey, I know somebody." They basically brought those people forward. A lot of veterans will not ask for help.
Right.
Which is another huge problem. I mean, we have thousands of veterans on the streets, and the reason why they're on the streets is because they won't ask for help.
Sure.
Their pride is just so over the top, and they don't want to be a burden on society either. So just to get them to talk to you is huge.
Right.
So it's very normal for a family member, a sister, a brother, a mother, a father, a friend, aunt, uncle, whoever, to say, hey, Jimmy's got a dog, and this guy's living in his van, and he's going from job to job because he can't keep a job because of his condition. At least he's got his dog.
Yeah.
Or his cat.
Right.
So
that's the other thing too, right? They're not all dogs.
They're not all dogs. We're just doing cats and dogs because that's what the pet insurance will cover.
Sure.
Until it gets more than that.
Yeah.
But right now, that's what we're doing is just cats and dogs.
Gotcha. Wow, guys, I tip my hat.
Thanks. It's exciting.
We appreciate you for getting us in here and getting the word out. I mean,
trust me, my pleasure.
It touches my heart you doing this because it's voices like you that are able to get it out there and let people know about it.
Yeah.
And you're one of the first ones. So
I appreciate that.
It's awesome.
No, it's just great to be a part and watch this thing take off.
It's exciting when I can come in here and tell you where we're at because we weren't at this point 5 months ago, 6 months ago. We did this in May, I think.
It was still an idea.
It was still an itch.
It was a plan.
Yeah. So it's just starting to get. It's amazing because the board members that we have, their heart is in it so much.
Yeah. And
they don't want it to fail. So they ask the tough questions, and it's amazing because I never thought that we can get together, 6, 7 of us in one room and actually put our minds together and don't judge on how the people think, and they get through a problem or scenario to make sure we have our bases covered. And it's been I couldn't ask for a better board ever.
That's awesome.
They're so dedicated, and the heart is in it, and they just don't want it to fail. And it's just amazing.
God, man. Well, dude, I'm just let me know what I can do to help. Obviously, yeah, I'll be making a donation. But
right now you can get a T-shirt if you want to get a T-shirt.
What?
Yeah,
dude.
You get $21, you get a T-shirt. Yeah.
See, there you go. You had me at T-shirt.
It's just at least you're getting something for your donation.
Right.
It's just going to get better and better. It really is.
Well, and obviously the fun part, and I say that kind of facetiously, is going to be, in my opinion, the fundraising. And not from a standpoint that people aren't going to want to give. It's just there's going to be so many ideas that you're going to see because, again, I'm watching it to the south, right? I'm watching what these guys that work for me in the south are doing, and it started off with, well, we're going to do barbecue. And then that barbecue just spawned out of control into like this big luau and donations. Like you guys are going to be able to get crazy with with the fundraising. You know what I mean? And here with as pet friendly as we are in Austin,
it's going to be great.
Oh, it's going to be amazing.
So,
I'm excited for you guys.
One of the fundraisers that we want to do is I have a friend of mine that has a band, and she wants to do a Christmas gala.
Ooh,
and we got Adam over at the Star Ranch is willing to donate the property for us to do an event out there.
Nice.
And we also have a movie producer and a movie writer and a film editor want to donate their time and money and equipment to us to start putting together these short films on the foundation.
That's awesome.
As we start to grow.
Yeah.
So I mean, we have a lot of stuff that's just going to be. I'm trying to figure out how the heck we're going to fit all this in between our jobs,
you'll find a way.
We will. We have
need more help.
That's it. We just might have to bring you in on board and get you busy.
There you go. There you go.
Let's talk about Vet Fest for a minute. So it's a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's on the 17th. It's going to be.
What is Vet Fest?
Vet Fest is something that a friend of mine, his name's Denny Katona. He's also another Hungarian. That put together this event for where veterans that have businesses can go and display their businesses for the day.
Oh, wow.
And they're nonprofits. So there's like Regroup, Recharge, OP, OP vets out there. So it's a way for veterans to come out and find people like me that can help them buy a home, or find John that can help them get a mortgage with their VA loan, or Jay with his insurance, or it's just a network of veterans that come to one place to get what they need.
Right.
Way to introduce one another. So I think last year, he had close to 7,000 veterans out there, and he thinks he's going to double that this year. So there's going to be close to 15,000 veterans out there. And this is the third year they've done it. So every November, the third Sunday of the month, he does this Vet Fest. And, they'll have...
Is that here local?
Yeah, it's in Round Rock.
The Round Rock?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. We'll send you the information on it.
I feel dumb for not having heard of this before.
Well, what's amazing about Austin, and you have people from all different backgrounds.
Right.
Religion, politics, everybody. It's amazing how you can get a bunch of people together when the calls comes up, and they step up to the moment. And this is like one of those events that is going to happen.
Yeah.
So,
I definitely need that information because I need to share it.
Well, yeah, I'll send you the information. If you want to come out that day, come on out.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's 12 to 5 on the 17th.
It's from 12 to 5 on the 17th.
Okay.
It's on Sunday. And I'll send you the information. And it's just another way to get in front of the veterans and appreciate the veterans out there. And anybody can come. You don't have to be a veteran to come.
Right.
But it's just a way for veterans to see what other businesses are out there to, frequent to, or
absolutely
get help from, or know what their options are. And it's just another way to just get a bunch of us together and realize that we're not alone either. Because a lot of times, when you're outside the military, you don't have that camaraderie anymore.
Right.
You kind of lose it, and you kind of miss it a little bit. So it's just another way to just, feed that need that's missing.
Yeah.
And, you're not judged, and then other guys are walking around, been through way worse than you were. But,
I've seen that firsthand, because that luau I talked about, like I actually took my family down and we attended it, and it was amazing. It was just veterans from every branch of the military, right? And my daughter's actually thinking of going into the service once she completes her bachelor's. So she was considering Navy. And I ended up getting to talk to like a Navy, captain, and he, just this. I mean, not the stories, but just the experiences.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just the gratitude, dude. That's the thing. It's like they're just. I don't know. I can't even describe it. It's like the humility, the gratitude. They're grateful for having served, and they're not asking for anything in return. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so when you're doing that,
we appreciate when the young people come in and pick up that torch and carry that torch, how proud we are of them, because it takes a lot to say, I'm going to give up 4 years of my life or 6 years of my life, and you're going to do whatever you want with me. You know, you have no control over where you go or what you do. And it takes a special type of person to raise that hand and take that oath.
Yeah.
So it's a way for veterans like myself to talk to people that want to go in and kind of guide them a little bit. Like if I was to go in again, I'd go in the Air Force because I can have, you know, a cot and air conditioning and, you know, hot meals, you know, not like being out in the middle of nowhere, you know, but you know, you're able to, but there's people that want to do, you know, go in the Army and be in woods and go out in the field and do that kind of stuff. So you try to give them different perspectives on where they might want to go or what they want to do.
Yeah. I could not do the Navy. I couldn't. If I had to go back and do
on a
it.
ship for
No, my nephew, he was a mechanic in the Navy, and he was like, it was like his dream job, right? He was like a mechanic and on the ship and the whole 9 yards. And he would tell me laughingly like how he just loved it when they would hit a storm, when they would hit rough water, because it's like, you know, guys would be throwing up everywhere and stuff, and he's just sitting there, you know, he's like, man, I'd just go up there and smoke a cigarette and, you know, and watch the water. And I'm like, nah, dude, I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it either. No
way. God bless you, brother. Like, you know.
Yeah, I couldn't do it neither.
Respect.
I'll take the sandbox.
There you go. So wow, man. So anything else you guys want to cover? I mean, what are we doing? Like, because we're at that point where we're winding down.
Sure. I mean, just help us spread the word.
Closing thoughts,
for
guys.
Fundraising.
Yeah.
And send us applications for veterans that you find, you know, feel might be in need of this service, and we love to have the demand drive the fundraising, right? So,
sure.
Right now we have a couple in the hopper, and I know in the coming weeks, especially after Vet Fest, we'll probably have another dozen or more, and so we want to get to the point where we're doing 10 of these.
I was actually a little nervous about doing Vet Fest because this is going to be a big test on the board, because this is an opportunity for us to maybe get 6, 7, 10, 12. We don't know how many people are going to be in need after this, and it's going to put a lot of pressure on us to raise the funds for that. So, but the more pressure, the better. So,
yeah,
you know, when you have to meet deadlines and demands, things get done. So,
you're a realtor, you're a lender.
That's right.
You guys are all familiar with deadlines and pressure.
Yeah.
So we'll come in again after Vet Fest with 100 applications and have you help us raise the funds.
There you go. We'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll work it out somehow.
Hey, well,
somehow.
That's what we do. We sit around, scratch our head, and figure out how we're going to do this. But you know, it keeps me up at night. So, because it's that important to me. And it's given me purpose, and it's really helped me with my PTSD.
Yeah,
knowing that I'm out there making a difference, and having people like John and you seeing my vision and helping me making my vision come true. And I really appreciate that. I really do.
It's my pleasure, man. I mean, you guys have an open chair whenever, like any kind of updates, any kind of changes, any kind of whatever, bring it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We're gonna take you up on it.
Yeah, you got an open chair. So I just give me a day's notice so I can make sure I'm in town. But yeah, absolutely. So guys, you heard it here. Check out, give me the website again, warriorcompanion.com.
Yeah.
Check out warriorcompanion.com. Donate, give them a like, give them a share, tell your friends about them. You know, if you know a veteran out there who's in need, from that perspective of they've got a service animal that needs help, I mean, you reach out. You know, don't wait. Don't not do it because of fear or pride, right?
That's right.
You know, like,
we all need help.
We all need help.
We all need help.
Yeah. So, guys, thank you again for taking time and coming in and sharing. I love the new logo. I love the new rebranding you guys are doing. I think it's awesome. But more importantly, I love the mission. I think it's just, wow, you found something truly unique, and I tip my hat. And, yeah, I'm all in, whatever I can do to help.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We thank you, and we're excited, too, and look forward to doing a lot more together.
There you go. All right, guys. Hey, thank you for taking time to listen to the episode. Hope you liked it. If you did, give us a like, give us a share. But whatever you do, people, please stay social. See you next time. Bye.